Hello, welcome to Module 5 discussion with Dan. We're talking about Chapter 6 in the book, relating to others at work. I'll do my best to keep it short this time. All right, how do person-focused and task-focused leaders contribute to the development and maintenance of constructive relationships in the organization? So pulling from section 6.1, relating to your manager, it talks about the person focus and the task focus, how leaders have a combination. But the person focus is getting to know a person on a personal level, listening to their needs and concerns, recognizing their efforts, making them look good. And task focus, the work takes priority over the people. You're not responsive. You don't really want to listen to feedback or get to know how your day was. You just want to push the numbers, make sure your numbers are up. Okay, so the question... So the opposite ends of a spectrum of personal concern. It's like a one-dimensional stretch between really person-focused and really task-focused. You can be on the extremes. Now the question doesn't match the message of the book that I got, which is that the workplace needs leaders who can balance both. It's not that a person-focused leader is best or a task-focused leader is best, but you'll find that in certain circumstances, you may need to shift your focus one direction or the other, but the best is going to be someone who's balancing it well in the middle. With a good balance, you're going to get the work done because the workers will feel appreciated. You'll take the time to get to know them, make sure that there's nothing that's holding them back, make sure that they have all the resources and opportunities to grow. But you also are able to focus on knowing when it's crunch time, and you can get everyone to dig deeper and work harder long enough to get the job done. All right, why do most leaders maintain a perfect balance of task and person dimensions at the workplace? Again, as the authors say in 6.1, and I'm quoting from the book, most leaders know that the workplace requires leaders who can balance both. So it's not necessarily that most leaders maintain it. It's just that maybe it's commonly known, or people who study this know that it's the best, but in work it may be a little bit different. I don't believe that the most leaders know it, though. You can probably observe that the best teams tend to have a good balance. I would expect the task focus to be most prevalent. That's like the reality of the situation. Managers, when they're reviewed by their managers, bosses, their review is how good are their numbers, what level of performance is their team accomplishing. There's no rating for how many smiles per hour the lower team member is enjoying or whether they're happy. I think a manager is going to be judged on their numbers, their KPIs, their key performance indicators. So managers probably are skewed more towards being task focused if they're concerned about their performance. Address the reasons why successful managers have loyal and trusting employees who go above and beyond the call of duty for their manager. In section 6.3, by definition, relating to those you lead, work gets done through relationships, and leadership is relational communication. So there's that. Here's what ultimately leadership is. It's relational communication, and things get done by having good communication with your employees, with your team. By cultivating high quality and trusting relationships, you will have satisfied and committed employees. The best workplace to be in is where each team member is watching out for each other. I call it watching each other's back. You're watching out to see if somebody else needs help with something. If someone's doing a really good job, you give them encouragement. If someone is about to make a mistake, you catch them or just step in and take care of it. You try to make each other look good. You also get to know like how people are doing outside of work, if everything is going all right. And you just keep track of those little details. What ends up happening is your team is really cohesive. You feel like you can trust people you work with. You want to give more. You want to give back. You want to help out the team. You want to make sure that your boss is taken care of just as well as your other team members. So as an employee with a good manager, you will feel like you matter and you want to contribute more than the minimum to get by. So that's basically loyalty. If you feel like you're appreciated, you want to give back, and sometimes you feel like you don't want to go home early, or you don't want to stay home at sick, you actually want to come in and help the team because you care. Okay, how do a person's verbal statements reflect his or her conflict style? As explained in 6.4 of the book, Understanding Conflict Styles, the authors discuss the people concern versus the production concern. There's a grid in that section. It's figure 6.3. You can map out the 5 main conflict styles. They're called accommodating, avoiding, compromising, competing, and collaborating. The authors give some verbal statements that commonly go along with each conflict style, such as, and these are my own, there is not my problem. Can you guess which one that goes with? Whatever you say, it's my way or the highway. Let's see what we can do, or let's make a deal. Each of those statements reflects on what kind of style they have. It's really indicative. So first of all, congratulations if you're in a conflict. Congratulations are in order if you're even able to talk about it. If you're able to stop and exchange ideas, talk about things instead of flipping your table over and running out of the room. And second, hopefully, just speaking of that, hopefully the temperature of emotions has been able to dissipate. Like the conditions are okay now where you can talk about it. It's a private, quiet time where you can both talk about it openly. So it seems like once you've identified the other person's style, but you really want them to help you get a fair resolution, you may need to coach them on effective ways of approaching their conflict management. If you recognize that they're just they want to run away or not deal with it, maybe you'd have to coach with them and say, hey, I know this affects you. I feel like you're also pretty upset with this and you'd like to see things change. So what ideas do you have? It seems to me like you don't want to just have a one-sided conflict resolution situation. You want both to come to the table and come up with ideas and buy in, have an agreement. It doesn't make sense to, have someone who's really passive-aggressive or detached or whatever, immature about it. You want both sides to come in and have a really good, healthy discussion about it so you can have a solid resolution. Okay, and next, what role do task and person dimensions play in influencing the conflict style of an individual? So in discussing the person task and the person production styles or factors, they're closely related. To me, it seems like in the two sections, 6.1 and 6.4, they're covering different aspects that are two sides of the same coin. They're similar ideas, whether you're concerned more with the person or the productivity or the production, or if you're more person or task focused in the leadership style. These are both about getting loyalty, getting agreement, getting convergence of ideas so that your team, your coworkers, your manager will all be on the same page, they'll all be committed to each other, loyal, watch out for each other. And so even though they're given two different graphs and two different descriptions, it's dealing with the same sort of thing, that you're building cohesion within your team. Just as a well-balanced person task manager can make the team feel committed and loyal, individuals with good person production concern will be able to achieve healthy conflict resolution without hurt feelings, resentment, and unfair outcome. All right, I think I did great, under 10 minutes. Look forward to your comments, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.